Duro Fernandez has decided to leave Barcelona, and he has activated his €6 million buyout clause. He wants to pay out and leave, go to any club of his choice. And I heard that he's going to PSG because this is according to report that he told his teammate that will be going to PSG. And I understand the guy's frustration because the limited time, the not having minute to play has been the reason for him leaving. I understand that some of these players want to play regularly. And one of the things he voiced out is because when Pedri and Gavi were absent, he thought he would have, played more, but didn't have those chances. And looking at it, as young as he is, he's a player who would have stayed, from my own opinion, would have stayed to, there are years ahead of him. There are so many years you can actually play. But another thought, looking at that Barcelona midfield, you have Gavi, you have Pedri, you have De Jong, you have Femi Lopez, Dani Olmo. These are young players. You have Bernard. And sometimes you have Eric Garcia coming to the midfield to play. I understand all of this, he has put all of this into perspective and thought that leaving could have been his best option, right? But another way around, I can count players that have left Barcelona, especially the La Masia products, that didn't do well in the club they went to. I can give you countless of players that have done that. They didn't succeed. But anyways, you see, sometimes players like this must have listened to so many people, the environment, people they mingle with. Looking at it, he's being paid low. His salary is very, very low. That's another consideration. And going to PSG or going to another club, they'll pay you higher. But one thing I want to ask Duro in this case is, leaving Barcelona to PSG or to another club, does he have the guarantee to be a starter in those clubs? Does he have a guarantee? If you leave Barcelona to PSG, does it mean that you're going to be starting every game for PSG? Looking at that PSG midfield, they have a handful of players, experienced players. He's not going to be having much of the time to play. That is a fact. Now, looking at Barcelona critically, I believe that the reason why he has not been playing much is because of the intensity of the game and looking at what Hansi Flick, how he want to deploy his midfield, how he want his midfield to look like. Looking at Duro is not that experienced. Yes, he's good, but experience-wise, he has not accumulated that experience. So I think that the reason why Hansi Flick has not used him much is because of the availability of Eric Garcia in that midfield. Looking at Bernard still have upper hand before Duro. See, Bernard is more preferred to play in that midfield than Duro. Duro comes in most of the time when there are no options. We have limited options. I think that is what happened here. But for the fact that he had decided to leave, I want to wish him all the best because he's a talent that would have been for Barcelona for many years. Understand? So I believe that his time would have come at some point. But him leaving, we also wish him all the best because I'm not going to be here crying for someone who has decided to leave to move on with his life. Because there are players that also left and succeeded. The likes of Fabregas who left Barcelona and succeeded at Arsenal, but he came back and all of that. So I just want to wish him all the best because, man, this is a talent that will pay me for good, right? He's a very talented midfielder. He's a player who would have been a catching. When you look at the likes of Gavi, look at the likes of Pedri, look at the likes of players doing it for Barcelona this season or doing it for a while now, I would have preferred Duro to stay and fight. This same thing happened to Femi Lopez. Femi Lopez, at one point in time, was not having enough time. But look at it. When the opportunity came, he embraced it. Now he's playing regularly. I expected Duro to have fought for his own place, compete among these players. But since he has decided to leave, I wish him all the best.